Welcome back to Pork Chops, Rice, and Peaches, now in 4K.
That's what that was.
That's what the joke was. That's what the interruption was about.
There's going to be a slight improvement in the quality of sound and video
Going forward. So we're excited. But today we are discussing the recently released Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yep. You've been looking forward to this movie for a long time.
I was looking forward to this movie for a very long time. Basically, as soon as they announced it.
Okay.
Because obviously Ryan and Hugh really wanted to make this movie.
Yes.
And they apparently Hugh Jackman instantly regretted his decision the minute they stopped filming Logan, is what he said.
I had not heard that.
I heard that it may not have been like right after they stopped filming it, but apparently he was very regretful of his decision when after Logan was finished.
Okay.
And I can see that. I can see that. You spend 20 years playing the same character and you kind of get attached to playing that character.
Yeah.
If there's stuff that you know that you could have done with the character that you didn't get to do, you might regret not getting to do that. Like, I know he wanted to fight the Hulk, and I know he wanted to, team up with a real Deadpool, and there was some stuff he wanted to do with Wolverine that he couldn't do.
Okay.
And I can see why he would come back for this. So I'm gonna try to keep spoilers out of the first half of this video, and then I'll pop up the spoiler warning as we go. And yeah, let's talk about it. What'd you think about this movie? Because I have a lot of thoughts.
We should probably lead with your thoughts.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh,
You'll understand why in just a moment.
and just the first two Deadpool movies were really good and really funny because the studio was very hesitant to make R-rated superhero flicks, and they did not assign huge budgets to it. So Ryan and co were forced to work within, a very limited budget, which notably, they had to cut out an entire action scene full of firearms and stuff just to make sure there was some reason. It might have been for the Golden Girls t-shirt likeness.
He,
but because
in movie 2, he jokes about the budget and the lack of big name talent, and
they, much like the character Deadpool itself, I'm going to be a little more crass in this video, but they gave them Disney f*** you money to make this movie, and I don't think it was great. I think part of the first two movies' charms is that they worked really well in the very strict boundaries that they were forced into. And I think that constraints kind of drives creativity. It's like, okay, here are my limitations, but what can I get away with?
right.
Kind of pushes that. This was basically, Disney said, we understand it's Deadpool, just make a Deadpool movie, and here's like 2 or 3 blacklisted jokes that you can't make. Go. Here's massive amounts of money.
Right.
Do what you want. And I think, while I normally don't advocate for studio interference, I think a little studio interference would have been helpful in this movie's case. I think Ryan just took every crazy idea that he had ever had, every vulgar thing he ever wanted to say, every joke he wanted to make, and he tried to cram it all into a movie. And essentially, the movie feels bloated. The movie feels very bloated. It's packed to the brim with a lot of stuff. And now, this isn't to say that I wasn't entertained, because I was entertained. And I might be a little biased. There's dogs coming.
Studio dogs are about to enter.
There might be a little bias because the theater I was watching in was one of those weird theaters with the angled side wall screens.
Okay.
And I was all the way at one side of the theater. So it was super disorienting for a lot of the movie to have that. And then it constantly cut between middle screen and then full screen with the side panels included. And it was just very distracting. But yeah, I lost track of so much in this movie, and it was just a lot of repetitive. Yeah. If you want, I can tell you, because I took notes afterwards, their chemistry is incredible.
Yes.
The interplay between Deadpool and Wolverine, especially in the suits, is incredible. These two really enjoyed making this move.
Yes.
And Hugh Jackman did not miss a beat. It's like he never left. He is right back to the same exact Wolverine that he always has been. Yeah, like not specifically. We'll get into it, but
this Wolverine was different.
This
Wolverine was different.
No.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
No, what you're saying. He has not lost the touch.
No, he has not.
The break did not.
Right.
The action, while I was disoriented by it, the action was fun. That opening action sequence, I'm watching it going, oh man,
okay,
those guys got good paychecks. A lot of jokes at the MCU's expense, making fun of things that I didn't think Disney would let him joke about, like, the multiverse is overdone trope, and all this. Yeah, he was taking some pot shots in there that I'm like, I'm surprised they let him get away with this.
I'm not actually, which
not what
might surprise you. I'm not surprised that they let him get away with it.
Yeah.
One, I think the performance of the first two movies, he proved what the franchise can do.
Yeah.
And I think that the Disney standards have dropped so precariously that the once clean, family-friendly branding of Disney is gone. If it's not completely gone, it's very close to being gone.
Yeah.
And Disney is going to be just another movie studio.
Disney needs to separate its IP, the Disney IP, from all the IPs it owns.
Yes.
It needs to be not afraid that just because something is under their brand, that it's going to tarnish, like, their princess movies. It's like, as long as you're not, taking that to your main, like, Mickey Mouse IP type stuff, that you're not going to you have nothing to worry about.
They need an adult content subsidiary.
Yeah.
That maybe we know is owned by Disney, but doesn't have the Disney castle logo at the beginning.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And then just let it go. My big fear, first of all, I maintained going into this movie, and I don't know how I did this. I knew nothing about this movie. I knew that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds were finally getting their buddy flick that they've always wanted in the character.
And it is a buddy flick.
It is a buddy flick.
That's all it is.
Right. And the characters that they've wanted to do in the Merc with the mouth, and that's all I knew.
Yeah.
And I knew that it was something that we were going to talk about because we put this on our list of things to see back in January.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I walked into the movie theater, and here's my only thought walking into the theater. I was afraid that this movie would be one gigantic inside joke between the two main actors.
Okay.
And it wasn't. And so I was very pleasantly surprised to see that.
Yeah.
The movie was crass. It was
the most crass of the three Deadpools.
It was
all the above the
almost over the top crass. It's like it was too crass. It was too crass.
And not in the way that I'm just like I don't care. It's just when you keep making the same jokes and the same type of jokes, it gets less funny as it goes.
Well, okay, so
it's very hard to be so vulgar that I'm upset by the level of vulgarity. And so it wasn't that. It was the fact that he just kept making them back to back to back to back to back, and they got less funny as it went. It's just because he was oversaturating the movie with it.
A good stand-up comic, drops a punchline, waits for the laugh, then drops the next part of the punchline, waits for the laugh, and in the timing, learning the time, right? Okay, so whoever did the editing of the movie, and when they screened the movies, they did not.
There's no breathing room.
There's no, exactly.
There's no.
And so, so you almost have to watch the movie a second time in order to hear the dialogue you missed while you were laughing at the jokes that you did catch, because there's a whole bunch of jokes that you didn't catch because they're talking on screen while you're laughing in the theater.
Yeah.
And that is a massive failure on the part of the editor and the screening team, right? Whoever that is, right?
Like think about Endgame, when you get the moment with Cap calling the hammer and finally saying Avengers Assemble,
right?
Yeah, there's still stuff going on screen, but no one's saying anything important because they knew what the reaction would be in theater.
Everyone's screaming,
everyone's cheering,
right?
Everyone's excited. They gave you like a good 10 seconds to get it out of your system as they all charge forward.
So
you need that with comedy as well, guys.
I won't go back into the theater to watch this a second time. I will look at this online, streaming
against the Disney Plus,
and then I'll catch everything that I missed.
Yeah,
right. And then here's the other aspect of the movie that was very troublesome. I went to the theater with your brother and your sister.
Oh boy, yeah.
I'm sitting in between your brother and your sister. Now, my daughter is a sweetheart. My daughter is a wonderful person, but she is a little bit naive. She's very innocent. And there were a couple of jokes that she turned and she said, "Dad, what does that mean?" And I said, "I will never explain those jokes to you." Okay. Spoiler. Do you know the one?
I bet it's the one at the end.
No.
The one at the end.
Nope. There's not that one at the end.
Not the one with the dog.
Nope.
Because that one got me.
No.
The one with the dog at the very end was...
No.
I did a spit take.
Nope. I'll never.
Okay.
Ever.
We'll talk about it in the spoiler section of your video.
So I just, she was asking me in the car, she remembered that one, and she was asking me in the car on the way home, and I said, I will never explain that joke to you. As a father, I cannot explain that joke to my daughter. I just can't. It will never happen. Okay. Yeah. So, so there were moments like that in the movie that were just, maybe slightly uncomfortable. But so now I will, this one has been dropped online a few times, so this is not a spoiler. Right. Have you ever been in a movie where there is a joke cracked on screen and you are the only person in a theater who laughs out loud?
Yeah.
Not only laughs out loud, laughs long and hard?
Yes.
Okay. Where's the intimacy coordinator line? That's it. That was a brilliant line.
No, it was amazing.
It was hysterically funny.
It was so good. And I'm sitting, watching this.
I was the only one.
I was watching this with an intimacy coordinator next to me, and she was dying.
Okay.
She was like dying. It's so funny. Yeah, the rest of the row, no idea what.
The rest of the theaters.
Yeah.
Violent at that part. I'm killing myself laughing. It was hysterical.
It's so good.
And
so good.
But there were some moments in the movie where I thought to myself, okay, I can see where that was meant to be funny. I see why people are laughing.
Yeah.
The appearance of the crushed 20th Century Fox logo. It's like, okay, I can see, but I didn't laugh.
Yeah.
It was one of the, so, and I think I've said this before, there are jokes that I would have enjoyed if I were a 12 or a 13-year-old boy that I just didn't. Yeah. I was like, okay, I see what they're going for. Maybe I'm not their demographic. And then there's other stuff that was just truly funny. And I have to tell you that the whole idea of
spoilers from here on out.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to put the insert
fine. The intro with the digging up the body
From Logan.
from Logan, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I remember thinking to myself, wait a minute, he was covered with adamantium. He was, and then they pull out this metallic body, and I'm like, this is hysterical.
Yeah, it was genuinely hysterical,
and only Deadpool could pull that off.
Exactly.
To turn that body into the weapon of destruction in the fighting sequence that it was, and use it for the credit sequence, was brilliant.
Brilliantly macabre.
Hysterical. It was just wonderfully done. But at the same time, it introduces the TVA into this.
Yes.
Okay. And so I have to admit, while I understand what they did with this movie, the whole return to the TVA, I think it caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Part of me was disappointed, and part of me understood that they had to do that.
So I saw that from it was in the trailers,
And I never saw a trailer. Never saw a trailer.
Because it was your hint that first. Let me just say, with the opening credits sequence, that was like the most Deadpool way of respecting the ending of Logan.
Yeah.
Since we're in spoiler territory,
Yes.
It's not the Wolverine from Logan. It's a different Wolverine. Actually, we see what Wolverine it is. You know which Wolverine it was?
No.
X-Men Origins Wolverine. They flash back to sequences of X-Men Origins Wolverine in certain parts of the movie. I think that's supposed to be a joke. Because Ryan Reynolds hated that movie because he played Deadpool in it.
Right. Well, he played Wade Wilson in that.
He played Wade Wilson.
They never named him as Deadpool in that movie, did they?
I think they did. I think Stryker makes a passing reference to it.
I know that was the movie that...
But they also tried to give him the Deadpool eyes when he uses the laser beams, and it's like, this makes no sense.
Right, okay.
Anyway, he hated that, so I could totally see him taking a shot at that movie.
He took a shot at everything. There are so many shots you can't list them.
Exactly. Right. There's so much. So it was the most respectful way for Deadpool to...
Hat tip all of Hugh Jackman's work.
Yeah, right. Leaving the ending of Logan alone, because that was a big thing that people were worried about, is that it would, So, making a joke that, like, damn it, I can't get him back.
The way that the body got used was there ain't bone left? I mean, honestly, there ain't bones left.
I don't think so. I do not think so.
And then the fact that there was a Headpool later on.
It was like Deadpool, Deadpool, something like that. The cameos were fun for the most part, but man, were they excessive. There were so many. So since, again, spoilers, Chris Evans coming back, not as Captain America, but as Human Torch.
It's Human Torch. Okay, I've been kind of, for a long period of time, and I won't go into the area you don't want to go, but I've been disgusted with seeing Chris Evans on screen.
Yeah.
When I saw him appear on screen and I realized who he was, I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. Not only did I enjoy his performance, but I enjoyed the throwback to the character. Yeah. That's a character from my childhood. Yeah. The Fantastic Four was my comic series.
Yes, I know. Right. They're making another Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, I'm so afraid of it. I'm so afraid of it. But anyway, so that whole sequence with him was a riot.
Actually, did you see the end credits?
Oh yes, oh yeah, I did. Yeah,
I'm like, okay,
that was a tremendous amount of fun. Again, the credits start rolling and your sister stands up and she's like, "Okay, time to go," and I just went, "Sit down."
This is the movie I have never seen. 90% of the theater stayed for the full credits. I've never seen that many people stay for. Even the Marvel, mostly it's like half people leave.
Right.
This was like 90% stayed.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes coming back.
All of them. So here's the nice thing.
I'll be real. I never cared for Elektra. I like the joke about Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Yeah,
being dead.
Oh yes. And her reaction to it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Channing Tatum playing Gambit, a comic accurate Gambit, was hysterical because he was supposed to get his own Gambit movie.
Right.
He was supposed to. So this is that.
So there's a part of that I didn't understand. Your brother kept asking, "Is that Channing Tatum?" All through the theater, and I'm like, I have no clue who this guy is.
Yeah, it's Channing Tatum.
Okay. So the performances were all good, but there was in Wolverine Origins a different actor playing Gambit.
There was a different actor playing Gambit.
And then I have paid no attention to who's supposed to do what and who's supposed to get what movie. I knew who the character was. I watched him since I never read the comics. He was fine.
I have some behind you. Actually, there's one on top behind you. Like directly behind you. There's a Gambit one.
So there is.
Gambit.
Everything was fine. I enjoyed the cameos were a delightful surprise. If you can keep yourself out of the stream of information prior to a movie, then all of these are wonderful surprises. Oh, yeah. And they function the way a cameo should function.
Henry Cavill Wolverine.
Yes, I caught it. I caught
it. They just blatantly say his name.
You know, it's
but like I was like, I did not see that coming at all.
It was wonderful.
Did not see that coming at all.
And there is an actor that doesn't take himself seriously, that has a great sense of humor,
exactly,
the whole thing off, and actually captured the essence of Wolverine. Very well.
100%. The old Juggernaut was back. Azazel was back.
So what's the big deal about the old Juggernaut? I mean,
it's just he was the one from X-Men 3.
Oh, okay.
He was the one from X-Men 3. That's basically it.
Gotcha. So, but I don't even know that. I think
there's just so many. It's too many to count at this point.
The one thing about this movie that bothered me, the one thing that I think was a plot hole, and either you're going
the entire movie's a plot hole.
Well, okay, yeah.
The entire movie, the plot makes no sense. The plot to this movie makes no sense.
Loki, who is completely unmentioned, who is controlling the multiverse in the TVA, should have been able to put a stop to the entire premise of the plotline of the movie. It would have.
Yep.
And so, I'm watching the movie and I'm thinking, okay, you can't get past this one.
Yep. I think they just needed an excuse for multiverse
and boy, that obviously you need the multiverse to get a Wolverine back.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And so
you need a multiverse to get a Wolverine back. You need a multiverse to, get Deadpool into the main universe or to get the universes combined in some way.
And they didn't take any jokes at Loki's expense.
No.
They didn't take any jokes at the actor's expense.
Deadpool even acted like he had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, well, he may not have. The way the multiverse works, but they conveniently just failed to mention those critical things. I'm like, okay, I get it. That's Hollywood. It's a very Hollywood thing.
It was a shoestring plot to
get the two of them together.
Get the two of them together to do it. You know what? It's cool. It's fine. Hugh Jackman does not look good in the cowl. I'm going to say it. I'm going to get blamed for it. He does not look good in the cowl. I'm sorry. I wanted him to. The Disneyland actor looks better in the cowl. I'm sorry. Apologies.
Will disagree with you on that one.
You like it?
I think he looked fine. I think.
I know people wanted it. Also, blowjob handles.
Oh, that was goodness.
That was actually.
I will never. I will never. Okay. Things you should never see in the theater next to your daughter.
Is that the joke?
That was the joke. That was the joke. That was the joke. That was hilarious. She leans over. Your brother and I are dying laughing. She leans over. She's like, I don't understand that one. And I'm like, and honey, if I have anything to do with it, you never will.
Yep. Go. Yep.
And in fact, he promised he would never explain that one also. So hopefully,
you get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fourth wall breaks. weren't as cheeky as they were in the last two. Like him, like just his fourth wall jokes were very much more blatant.
Right,
referencing the studios and
but you know, okay, so you know how much I hate fourth wall breaks, right?
Well, Deadpool's entire character is based off the concept that he can break the fourth wall.
Exactly.
And here's the thing: you have a different concept of fourth wall break than I think most people do. For you, a fourth wall break is anything that like kind of breaks the immersion a little bit. It makes you think about reality. Is how it seems. Am I wrong?
Well, okay. No, I know why you would say that, and
draws you out of the experience a little. So, because a lot of people think fourth wall break, and they literally think it's the camera screen. Like they literally think it's the character.
It is
real life.
It is.
Character.
You are right. I'm 100% guilty. I have expanded the definition of fourth wall break for the purposes of what we talk about. The fourth wall breaks should be few and far between. They should be handled very well, and they should be really important, right? And I think we've said it before. I've said it before. That Ferris Bueller set the standard for fourth wall breaks. Really. However, my background many years ago was theater, where on stage there is a fourth wall.
Yes.
And you know,
I think that's where that comes from.
The Shakespearean soliloquy, talking to the audience.
Yeah.
Right. So those are fourth wall breaks.
So I think my point being, I think most people think of fourth wall breaking in the manner that Deadpool and Ferris Bueller and She-Hulk do it.
So
it's where you talk directly to the audience as a character, aware that they are a character.
I used for lack of a better way of explaining it, I used fourth wall breaks also in terms of things that jar you out of the storytelling of the movie. Right.
Yes.
When you go into this movie, you expect it to be one gigantic fourth wall break.
So you expect Deadpool to constantly be talking.
Exactly. And so none of them bothered me at all. I was completely fine with them because I knew to expect them.
I feel like he did, it was more often than, and it was less subtle. It was more obvious. Like in the first couple movies, it was really the most cheeky one I can think of is why do I only ever see you two around here? Maybe it's because the studio couldn't afford more X-Men.
Right.
Right. That is like a subtle, like it's a more in your face than most of the other wall break jokes that he does.
Yes.
Ripley from Alien, as he looks at her. That's a very Deadpool thing to do. Is Ripley from Alien, because it's another Fox production, if I'm not mistaken. When he looks at Teenage Warhead in the first movie.
Okay, so
stuff like that.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I so forgot Deadpool 1 and 2. Yeah. I mean, completely forgot the content of them.
Yeah.
That I didn't think that I had seen Deadpool 2. And you know, that Peter character, right? Like, why is this guy important? Why is this guy something? I mean, literally, your brother had to explain to me, Dad, we watched the movie sitting next to each other back when I was right, but and I'm just, I'm like, okay, that's how much I just completely forgot. So I was a little bit lost with some of the references, and also they were coming so quick, fast, so hard that it was just like a lot of those things were just lost on me.
Like I said, it feels like he had the budget and the freedom to cram as much as he wanted into this movie, and it just kind of
probably with the belief that this would be the last one.
He probably thought it would be his last chance to do anything, like all the things he wanted to do with Deadpool. So he just went all out, which I can understand. I doubt it. This movie is on track to break some records, and I sincerely doubt that that's going to be
the last one.
The other, it's Wolverine and Deadpool, and then the other pairing that you have to get is Wolverine and Spider-Man, Deadpool and Spider-Man. And Ryan Reynolds going up. I don't know if Tom Holland is ready for that movie.
I don't know if he could keep up.
Exactly. I don't.
Although. Have you ever seen his lip sync battle performance?
Yes. Oh yeah.
He might be able to.
He might be able to.
Take the leash off, and he might be able to really go.
We'll find out.
I think probably the best surprise for me. Well, it wasn't actually a surprise. I was looking for this. I was hoping it would happen.
Daphne King coming back.
Daphne King coming back. Yes.
And she also no beats missing.
Exactly.
No beats.
Up like she had never stopped doing it. Right.
You know what? If Marvel ever wants to give the main Wolverine character a break, I would not mind her taking up.
I bet you she would do a wonderful job.
I bet she would be amazing.
Give her a shot.
Yeah, give her a shot.
Definitely.
Because man,
yeah, she's earned it.
Yeah,
and her performance is fantastic. Now, the interesting thing, her character was far more verbal.
Yeah, right,
than her first appearance. And it was critical to Wolverine's development. There's things that had to be said, but that having been said, we don't know. I'm assuming that was the character from the Logan movie.
I think she was supposed to be.
Yes, and so you could just do wonderful things as the next generation.
Really, you really could.
And so, it all depends on how much more time Hugh Jackman wants to spend in the gym.
Gee, although I think some people were looking at some of the early trailers, specifically when he was sleeveless,
right,
and looking at it, going, I think some CGI like special effects people were looking at it and going, there's some clipping. It looks like they CGI the arms on in some places, which is like, okay, yeah, the dude's how old now? So can't keep going to the gym. For as long as and as intense as he does.
Let's just find out here, because I might be able to speak to this one, because you see these guns right here. Yeah. Let's see. He is 55. Oh my goodness, does it get hard to spend time in the gym?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Good on him.
Yeah.
Now, I did something that I normally don't do. I read a movie review after the fact. In the movie review that I read, this is so stupid, was written by some Christian website.
Oh, no.
Okay. It just popped up on my feed, and I'm like, okay, here's my first thought. Here is my very first thought. Why did you even bother to review this? Right, because it was dry. It almost looked like a movie review written for Focus on the Family.
Oh,
it wasn't.
Geez.
I mean, so it was like, this movie has 138 F-bombs in it, and I remember thinking, that's it.
That's it.
Someone actually counted.
That's light work for Samuel L. Jackson. Let's go.
Exactly. This movie has crass jokes and sexual innuendo. Really?
Oh, thank you for the informative content.
Well, so I'm the only thing that they got right in the movie review. Right? Don't take your 8-year-olds to see this movie.
Why would you?
But there's so many people who do, right? But I've read it, and I was just kind of laughing all the way through. So like, come on, I live in a cave for most of this stuff, and even I knew what I could and could not do.
Yeah,
And if this movie had come out when you were 12, we wouldn't have taken you to it, right? So this is a movie that's R-rated for a reason, and it should be your older teens. And adults and expect to have your morals ruined.
Yeah.
And, did
your standards drop?
I was having a vision problem. I was in the very last row. Did that dog have a forked tongue?
No.
Okay. It was just hanging out.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
It was just hanging out.
Yeah. Did they say that dog was a gigantic G spot? Was that?
That was one of the early. Yeah. Non-stop.
It was non-stop. I wanted to make sure.
That dog is horrible on the red carpet, too.
Oh, really?
Looks no different. Right into the red carpet.
Right.
Yeah, no different.
It's
cute as hell.
So
it's a shoestring plot. The villains make no sense. I didn't even talk about
Charles's sister, who was just a throwaway villain.
Well, yeah, she was a throwaway villain.
And just kept flip-flopping between, I hate you, okay, I'll work with you, I hate you, and I want to destroy the multiverse, and it makes no sense. So...
Was she pulled from the comics?
I think so.
Okay. Is there a family problem with baldness?
I don't know, because guess what? Juggernaut is supposed to be his half-brother. Fun fact. I don't know if you ever knew that, but Juggernaut in the comics is Charles's half-brother.
Oh, I had no
Fun fact. I don't know.
I had no idea.
So I don't know. Anyway, maybe it helps with telepathy.
Now with that helmet. But you know, I looked and it really that character. Well, okay, it's Deadpool. In any other movie, that character needed to be fleshed out.
Yeah.
That we needed to have a little empathy for that character. And instead, she was just a two-dimensional villain.
Very.
But this was not a movie about defeating a quality villain.
No, it wasn't.
This had a whole other purpose. I would say, okay, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
I think overall, it was very entertaining.
I will go back and I will watch it again because I want to catch all the jokes that I missed.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think I like it better than 1 and 2.
I didn't like it better than 1.
Yeah.
I did not like the treatment that Deadpool and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
That whole break, that whole thing, because their screen chemistry worked so well. And then in this movie, that screen chemistry was gone.
You could have done it without them being split.
Right. And
the same story without them being split.
Al was underused.
Al was
she was such a wonderful part of the series.
So good.
Her appearance seemed like we have to have her, but we really don't have anything for her to do.
That was pretty much the entire returning cast, because they wanted to focus on the body sling.
Right.
Which
was this guy from the bar in this movie? The guy with the glasses?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's TJ Miller. No, he got fired.
Really?
Yeah, creative differences. He's been gone since after the second. I think that's the way it is. Anyway,
go see the movie. I enjoyed it.
It's fun.
I enjoyed it.
Fun.
It is.
You will, if you like Deadpool, you are going to love this film.
Right.
I just was kind of taken. I kind of was hoping for. I set my expectations too high. I think I jinxed myself.
Oh.
I think I expected more in terms of like. I think I expected it to be a little more like 1 and 2, and that is not what I got.
Oh.
So I think I sabotaged myself going into this movie because I did have fun with it.
Dead Ant-Man.
Oh, that was great.
Was hysterical.
Paul Rudd finally aged.
Yes, that was a great line.
It would have been better if it hadn't been a trailer line.
But
you never saw it.
I never saw a trailer.
So it was a great line.
So it was a great line. It was really fun. And that's the thing. I'll be honest with you. I think I had no expectations. I was on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I had no expectations.
And you were thoroughly entertained.
Hadn't seen a single trailer, and I was thoroughly entertained.
All right.
So there we go.
Is it? It's fun. It's good. It's entertaining. You'll probably enjoy it along with all the other people who are out watching it.
Right.
Now. And
there's probably an internet full of people talking about this movie, and as we
very much
throw our voices into the mix here, just take it for what it is. Go and enjoy it. Leave the little kids at home.
Come on,
and
don't go watch it on the slanted wall theaters because you will not get a middle seat. Who designs a movie theater that is not optimized for all seats? I'm mad about this.
And we have a topic for the next episode of Pork Chops, Rice, and Peaches.
So, what did you think of Deadpool and Wolverine? If you saw it, and if you haven't, what are you doing in this video? Go watch it. Leave your thoughts in the comments section down below.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
And hit the subscribe button. Bye!